Hi Liz.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so lovely to finally have you, well, nearly face to face. We've been connected for quite a while, but we've never been able to actually touch base with each other, so this is really lovely.
Yeah, and I'm a bit gutted that I wasn't able to go to the last Good Eggs networking event just before this all happened.
I
So
know. Don't
yeah,
worry, we are coming back with a big bang. It might take a little while, but there's lots of things in the planning at the moment, and I'm getting really excited. So
awesome.
you'll get your yeah, how have you been? Well, I should just say we're now at the end of June, so we're starting to loosen lockdown. So I guess what's your experience been, and where are you now? What's your situation?
Okay, so initially when we first had the lockdown in March, it was a little bit, as a small business owner, it was a little bit discombobulating, and you kind of think, how on earth am I going to make the business work? Because I work very much face to face with people, going on sites, but we had done quite a lot of work anyway in terms of changing how the business works. And our biggest thing is that we want to be the people that do safety differently. So we don't want to turn up with a clipboard and tell you you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, and give you a load of tick boxes. So we were actually going to be launching our drone service, which was due for around the time when farmers were busy planting. So that kind of put some things on hold. But in other ways, it's also highlighted the fact that we are going down the right track with what we're doing. So at the moment, now we're in June, we've been doing our first few meetings outside with clients this week, but it's very much weather dependent. So obviously when it's raining, it's having to be cancelled. But yeah, no, we've found the period quite, dare I say, useful in some respects in terms of testing out some of the things that we were looking to do, but perhaps didn't get much buy-in from people. But now being able to do kind of Zoom tours of sites, and like I said, with the drone work as well, we're hoping that will pick up now that we've got a little bit more freedom as well.
Guess in a way you almost have a proof now that you
Yeah.
really need to start moving in that direction. Speaking of,
Yes.
for anyone who hasn't had the pleasure of meeting you or that doesn't know you,
Mhm.
what is it you do, and also I'm really interested, how did you get there?
Okay. So I work as a health and safety consultant primarily. I set the business up 4 years ago. So we've got a two-factor kind of business. We've got the consultancy side, which is obviously very face-to-face. And then we've got the technology side, which is obviously the app, which is Farm 365. Predominantly we're dealing with farm safety at the moment, but we do also touch on construction, and we do have an exciting project for construction coming up hopefully later in the year as well. So but yeah, it's been a kind of a weird journey into farming and safety. Originally I was in media, and then decided that it didn't quite give me what I wanted, and I had kind of just, I wanted to do something that actually helped people. And I know that the media does a lot of good, but there are times when it doesn't feel like it does much good. So then I got interested in safety, and then coming back to Norfolk, kind of obviously became aware of farming. So inescapable in Norfolk. And yeah, I think I just got kind of, the more I looked into it, I got so frustrated with how we were still having the same accidents and people were still being killed in the same way that they were 30 years ago. Yet all of the machinery is, super duper, it's huge, it's robotic, and all very exciting. And I just couldn't work out why we were still having these accidents and losing all of these people in the industry. So that then prompted me to come up with Farm 365. And so it's been a challenging thing to develop. I did the first kind of minimum viable product myself, which was many evenings up until 1 a.m, 2 a.m. I never want to try and code ever again in my life. But,
I think a
but
lot of people feel you there and go, yeah.
yeah, so and now we're in a kind of an exciting period where we're now getting the final product put together, ready for everyone who's been waiting for it. And yeah, just really exciting to do things differently. And I think now there's a real appetite for doing it differently. So hopefully we are well placed in the market and we can start making a difference to people's lives.
That's amazing. Oh, I love that. That's great. What a journey as well. I mean, I think most people start off in one industry and then end up progressing somewhere else, either on purpose or fall into it. So no, it's great.
Yeah, I think when I look back, and career advice at school and everything like that, they made farming seem very much like a man's world. And also, if you didn't want to wear wellies and be covered in mud, then it really wasn't for you. So I think that's also what I'm trying to promote, is the fact that it's an industry for women too, even though we are a slight minority in it. And in the tech space as well, there's so many great women in tech. So why not combine the two?
Wow, that's amazing. What a trailblazer. I love that. Yeah, I mean, I had a little detour into security for a while for the Olympics specifically, because I wanted to work at the Olympics, and the only thing available was become a security guard. And I went through all the training, and you can imagine that it was definitely male dominated, and but I found it a really interesting experience, and also in terms of communication, because we had so many different people from different places and different cultures working together, different age ranges, from I just graduated. I was a bit old and more of a mature graduate, but we had like really young students that had no life experience, working with people who've retired from the police force, who may have been a bit stuck in their way in their language. So seeing that all collide was just like, whoa, this is
well, yeah, I mean, I do still get a little bit of maybe I'm the minority in the industry that I'm in, and especially when you start turning up with drones, people are like, wait, what? There's a girl with a drone? So yeah, it's still an issue, and in safety as well. That's still a hugely male-dominated industry, and it's another area that I'm trying to work with some other great women in safety, to kind of make it more welcoming to younger women looking for work.
Yeah, it's amazing. No, thank you. I really appreciate it. As a feminist myself, absolutely love that. So, from the COVID experience perspective, what are you taking away with you in terms of learning, that maybe even about yourself and the way you work, or you've changed the way you work, or from your industry overall?
Yeah, so I think from a personal and business point of view, it's made me really kind of reevaluate, what do I want from my business? Not only, what can I do to serve people, but what do I want from it as a director and a founder? And how can I strike a better balance with my home life and my work life? Because, as I'm sure many others on here will understand, it is all consuming, and you're in bed at 11 or 12 o'clock at night and think, oh, I should do this. And the ideas just keep coming. So I think it's really actually been quite good to kind of focus on what are we actually going to achieve in the next 6 months. So that's been quite good. But also, it's been a bit of a challenging experience, because my husband is now working from home as well. So there's two of us working from home that wouldn't normally be here. So that's been quite interesting. But it's just about getting that balance, I think, is really important. And also just reevaluating what you want. Everyone has the dream that self-employment is amazing, and it's always great fun, but it is quite challenging. And I think it's teaching me a better discipline of, okay, it's not work time now, so I do need to actually relax and shut off.
Yeah, that's something I've picked up on with talking with lots of different people over the last couple of months. Is there seems to be a real desire to really spell out what your purpose is.
Yes, yeah.
But not just from a business perspective or, targets, but overall as a human. And I found it quite a holistic experience. And I've been really surprised that people that I know who are very goals driven have actually had the time to take a break and actually think beyond that. And it's been, so it's, silver linings in everything.
Yeah, and I think it's I love running, and I'm heavily involved in a movement called Farm Runner, so that's also been something that I've kind of, if anything, it's just confirmed it for me that actually exercise, and I always think that your mental fitness is the same as your physical fitness, so it's not just, I find that if I say mental health, it sometimes brings up ill mental health. Whereas if you treat it as fitness, so it's mental fitness as well as your physical fitness, then you start to think about it positively and you start to action things more easily. So.
Absolutely. You've just prompted me. I'm a little bit pink-faced because I took the opportunity of the rain break to go for a run just before.
Awesome.
So I'm fresh out of the shower and obviously quite pink-faced, but I started the Couch to 5K just at the beginning. No, that's not true. I've been doing the Couch to 5K for about a year, but I've been stuck on week 1 and 2 for about a year, because for a long time I could only walk, and now I'm sort of progressing to running, and now it's just something, my progress has been amazing, and I'm on week 7.
Yeah.
I'm running 25 minutes in one go, and I'm like, this is
brilliant.
Yeah. I'm not dying. It's fantastic.
I think that's the thing. I think one of the biggest experiences, and I say it to everyone, and they probably think I'm a bit mad, is if you can do a marathon once in your life, just do it, because it was a game changer for me. I did all the training and I thought I had it sorted in my head of what was going to happen. And then you get to mile 22 and you just realize that it's way harder than you thought it was going to be. But then what it comes down to is just putting one foot in front of the other. As long as you're moving and you're moving forward, that's all that matters. And running is a great kind of leveler, I think, as well. So I find it's a great way to get headspace.
Yeah, absolutely. And a beautiful metaphor as well, because that just reminded me, at the beginning of lockdown, I was still finding my feet with PTSD and cancer recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always I get so excited about stuff. I just want to go too fast. And
Yeah.
then I'm completely overwhelmed, which is no surprise to anyone else other than me. And I've just had to, I've wrote it on my wall upstairs to remind myself, just put one foot in front of the other, and the speed doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing, like when we first went into lockdown, I said to my husband, I said, this is like another marathon. My marathon, because I was meant to be running London, has been temporarily postponed. So this is the marathon that I didn't realise I needed to be training for, that I am in now. So yeah, and I think unfortunately we still have got a little way to go with the situation.
Yeah, we hit a little bit of a wall, this morning, me and my other half. I've been, for the last 2 nights, I kept waking up going like, oh, I'm dreaming about all the holidays we've had and the adventures we've been on and traveling. And I said to Nick, it's like, I think we really need a holiday. Like,
Yeah.
we need to get out of this house somehow.
Yeah.
And so we've booked in some dates, but I went to go and book something like an Airbnb, and then you go like, oh, but we don't know if we will be allowed to go there, and then you've changed the cancellation policy, so you basically lose your money. So we had a bit of a meltdown moment where we're both like, we just need to get out of the house, but we don't know how. So I said, in the worst case, so what we've done now, we've come to the conclusion, in the worst case, we've blocked out the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're not allowed to travel. We can always put up a tent in our garden.
Yeah, exactly. Have a garden camp out.
He did think I was slightly demented when I said that, but I said, no, it'll be different because it just won't be in the house.
Exactly, and you can cook outside and do the whole experience.
Exactly. Don't know what my neighbours will be thinking here in the Silver Triangle, but who knows. So we've come to the moment in our vlog when I get really excited about this, because I love to know what our fellow good egg entrepreneurs are reading, are engaged with, are listening to, things that have maybe shaped you or that you're just engaged with at the moment. What are your recommendations in terms of books or podcasts, audio? I don't know what you click with the most?
Yeah, so book-wise, if I'm being perfectly honest, I'm actually going through a retraining period with my horse. So the book I'm reading is actually kind of a cowboy book. But yeah, I mean, I quite like to learn about the psychology of the horse, so that's a real kind of, and I'm using that as like my switch off time. So it's something that, you know, I've never looked into before, is kind of Western style of training and everything like that with her. So that's something a little bit different.
What is it called, just in case we have someone who's listening to this and also has a horse?
Think Harmony with Horses.
Cool. I'll
Yeah, so
description.
yeah, it's quite an old book, but it's interesting, and you know, I think for me, I use the time that I have with my horses as a real switch off time. And obviously during lockdown, luckily they're on livery, so there wasn't a need for me to go over there, but it was really hard because then I didn't get that kind of switch off time that I have with them. But yeah, and then podcasts, I love podcasts. So I've actually been catching up on some of the Giles Goren podcast, and for kind of like business inspiration, I actually quite like Rachel Hollis. I don't know if she's anybody that you've come across before.
No. What is her angle? What does she do?
So she is an American entrepreneur, and she's kind of set up her own media company while having 4 children to run around after. And she's quite honest with, you know, her journey as an entrepreneur. She's tried different things that didn't work and different businesses that have failed. And then she's kind of giving you those tips and tactics. But also Marie Forleo, I love her. I don't know if you've also come across her, but she's also awesome. She's a real powerhouse. So yeah, I'm sticking with my female entrepreneurs, really.
I love that. I actually just thought about it, and most of my podcasts are quite male dominated, so
Yeah.
I'll check them out. Not on purpose. So, I mean, the only one I can think of that I listen to regularly is The Guilty Feminist, because it's
Yes.
funny. And speaking of funny and children, at the moment, not weirdly not fronted by women, but they are funny. It's Rob Becket and Josh Widdcomb.
Yeah.
They have a COVID lockdown parenting hell. And I don't have kids. I do.
No, us either.
No, I do hope to have some one day, and I must admit, oh my god,
It's an awakening.
But it's so funny, and it's so refreshingly honest. It doesn't try to be, you know, it's not throwing any glitter over anything. It's just saying it how it is, and they've got different guests on there who talk about their experiences. And I actually listened to one the other day with, sorry, I'm very bad with names, so I have to keep Shappi Khorsandi.
I think she's a comedian,
female comedian, and she was talking about like juggling work and the kids, and having she called it a milk tray moment, where she basically just had a meltdown. And her kids, she had to sort of apologize to the kids again. I'm just lost it, and I just love it, because I have no idea how I'm gonna juggle my ambitions and being a parent. I find it quite scary, actually. But actually listening to things like that fill me with a lot more excitement, to know that everyone else is just making it up. So
I think that's the thing. You kind of put a lot of pressure on yourself to think, oh, you know, it has to happen when everything's perfect, when I've got everything sorted. And I think also, you know, with social media, some people will only portray the picture that they want you to show of perfect harmony, and, you know, everything's organized and picture ready, and you know, you can absorb it without realizing that you're taking it on board, and you know, and then obviously comparing yourself to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with you, completely with you on that. So so we now go to the random place. So I have this jar, but it's empty at the moment, because
oh no.
I ran out of random questions, and then I rewrote a load, and then my printer broke down. So, but thank God there's a digital space. So all I need to do is look at my phone, and there's a lovely little website called Random Question Generator. So I'm
Oh
just
gosh.
press the button and see if, oh yeah, there we go. This is a good one.
Okay.
There have been a few dodgy ones on there, so sometimes. So it says on here, do you have a bucket list?
I kind of do, yeah. Running a marathon was on there, and I've done that. And I thought, actually, my husband will vouch that when I crossed the line in Paris, I was like, I just never want to run or move ever again. So yes, and then I got a place in London. I actually got a ballot place, so and I've been trying for years. So I was like, okay, well, yeah, let's go for a second one. But yeah, I think it's just kind of little things like, you know, places that I want to go to, and things that I'd hope to achieve by certain times and things like that. So but yeah, I think I probably do need to work on my bucket list a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about bucket lists. I think it's a bit weird when you are just about to kick the bucket, or maybe about to kick the bucket. You probably don't care about the bucket list, but I'm glad I say that. But I was actually really glad that I've always had a really active life, and have done, you know, lots of things that I shouldn't have done. But hey ho, and I've just always somehow have found a way to live life to the full, as possible, without you know, there's the whole theory of living in the moment is great, but it's also very exhausting. So
Yeah.
choose your moment. But no, I've had some brilliant experiences. So when I was confronted with the possibility of not being around for much longer, I really weirdly went, yeah, I'm all right.
I'm good, thanks.
I was like, yeah, I think I've had a really good evening actually. And yeah, of course, so me and my fiance were going to get married, and I was like, oh, do we want the wedding dress and everything? So I'm a bit gutted about that, and kids and all of that. So, but now that I'm sort of coming out of that headspace, and I'm starting to realize, oh, I've got quite a lot of miles yet to go. I'm starting to think, yeah, I should do a list of things, but I've always thought, you know, I look at people's bucket lists, and there are things on there like bungee jumping or something like that, and I'm gonna have to be honest, I just really don't want to do that.
I know, I'm too much of a wimp, and I think being in health and safety, I'm like, no, I know all the things that can go wrong.
I don't want to like jump out of a plane or and I have to admit, like even running a marathon, like I want to like run and be able to run, and I think for me at the moment, like a 5k or a 10k, maybe marathon's just too far ahead, but never in my life have I ever thought I want to run a marathon, because it just sounds so painful and horrible. But there's a lot of other things that I would definitely love to do, and challenges. There's a mountain near to where I grew up in Switzerland, which as a teen or a child, I used to be able to walk up it, and I haven't for a very long time. So that's like, I'd really love to be able to walk up a mountain and down again without feeling the need to call an ambulance halfway through.
Yeah, I think yeah, with the marathon, I never imagined that I would be able to do one, and to be honest, running really wasn't what I was sold on in school or anything like that. You know, it's I didn't mind sprinting, but cross country, I was like, I'm out. Like, give me an excuse. So yeah, it was only really in the last kind of 3 years that I kind of got into it, and again, it was coming out of a bad situation, and I just found a bit of space in running that I needed. So yeah, I started off with doing 5k and absolutely hating it. And to be fair, I still hate 5k. I find it so difficult. And then once I did a 5k, I thought, oh, I'll do a 10k. And then I did, oh, I'll do a half marathon. And then if I survive the half marathon, why not go for a full marathon? So yeah, but I probably went into the full marathon a bit like, oh, it'll be fine.
I have to admit, I can completely see myself going down that road at some point in the future, but not something that I would have ever thought, before. But now the
No.
Action 5K has really helped and has helped me with my mental health and the stability, and having a bit of space. But also, exercise is so important, and we sort of
Yeah.
underrate nutrition and exercise of how fundamental they are to your well-being overall. Um,
Yeah. And I think that's one of the things that actually I'm taking away from this time as well is I was always a bit rubbish when I was out and about on sites here, there and everywhere of eating and making sure I had nice, good stuff with me and things like that. So I think now it's kind of cemented some of the things I want to make sure that I get into my day going forward. So,
well, Liz, we have chatted and chatted.
yeah.
It's been an absolute delight. Thank you so much. And
You're welcome.
I hope that in the not too far future,
Yeah,
we'll have you with us in a room, cocktail in hand, and
absolutely.
bring yourself in. So, yeah, thank you so much,
You're
and
welcome.
lovely rest of the week.
And you take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.